Okay, we're going to do a one-bedroom apartment. This is for a tenant who's moving out. And they lived here like 3 years, so the carpets are pretty dirty. There's a little bit of wax over here. There's a really significant stain where you can see where they had all their furniture sitting at. The front entranceway is pretty stained. There's a nice dark little stain right here in the hallway. And one little stained area right here near the window, which is probably just something that got knocked over, a plant or something like that. But we're going to pre-spray, and he's going to start with the brush and try to scrub some of this into the carpet better. Work the pre-spray in, and then we're going to do a bonnet cleaning after that. So we'll just, there he's pre-spraying. We're going to just keep up to date with the progress on that. And so keep watching. All right, we're going to start here in the hallway. He's just scrubbing all the traffic stains. Also raising the nap. This carpet was not been cleaned in 3 years. It's got some stains. The living room's pretty stained. And all he's doing is agitating into pre-spray and raising the nap, making sure that the pre-spray is hitting the carpet fibers all the way around. So the stains aren't necessarily going to be coming out at all. They are not going to be absorbed until he uses the bonnet. Okay.
Move the cord and we'll do the living room. The cord completely gone though.
Yeah, this living room is going to be a challenge.
These stains are real dark.
Yeah. And the bad thing too is the carpet's worn out because they had furniture sitting on some of the carpet for 3 years, which got hardly any wear at all. But the area that was open had a lot of wear, so we're going to have a significant change in the textures and everything with the fibers, so it's going to be hard to blend the two in and make them look the same. They probably won't. Most of the time when you're in a situation like this, you can't really, you can clean the carpet, but you can't get rid of wear. So we'll see how that turns out. This is another carpet where to save money. The tenant did the pre-vacuuming. So if the machine kicks up a significant amount of debris, they are probably going to want to re-vacuum it after we're done. A lot of times, the stain doesn't really respond to the brushing, but yet the bonnet will still get it out. But this is actually helping to get the pre-spray into the carpet better, so it's completely coating the fibers. And then we're going to And sometimes we'll put down a little more spray also, but that will really help it to set it up so it's prepared for when the bonnet comes along in a few minutes. It'll be completely agitated in, and that's a good thing to do, is agitate the pre-spray into the carpet. You don't necessarily have to do it, but it does help save you a little time scrubbing with the bonnet later on.
That dark stain just came out, and it was a real dark stain. It's not 100% lifted, but it sure is. It'll come right out with a bonnet. Well, this is where I'm at. This is real heavy stain.
Alright, we're getting close to the 6-minute mark here, and we're pretty much almost done with the brush. So that's not taking too long. There's a big gouge in the carpet right there, that darker spot. Probably a cigarette burn.
It's a burn.
Okay, he's going to work that a little bit. The bonnet, the bonnet's soaking in the sink. This is the same bonnet we've used to do over 70 apartments now, and it's pretty worn out. We're going to try to keep using it and see how long they actually last. A lot of people ask, why don't you just throw down another bonnet? And the reason we're doing that, we're really wanting to get a good real-world idea how long you can use one bonnet before it wears out. The bonnets right now are only like $10. So they're not too expensive. So it's good to know if you buy 2 or 3 bonnets for this machine, it's going to last you for quite a while. And we do really heavily soiled carpets most of the time, so we may use a bonnet a lot heavier than a lot of people will. And also, we do a lot of our floor work. We use the bonnet a lot for soaking up the water and everything, so it gets used for floors and carpets quite a bit. So he's removing the brush.
I'm sitting it down right here. Come on here.
The brush is kind of dirty now.
Make sure the carpet's still damp enough. I'm going to spray the carpet again. It's better safe than sorry.
Okay. He's going to respray the carpet, and I'm going to stop the video just because it's going to take 3 or 4 minutes to do that, and then we'll turn the video back on when he's ready to bonnet clean. So stay tuned. All right, we've resprayed the living room. He's wringing the bonnet out over there in the sink. Getting ready to drop it on the carpet. And he's going to put the driver plate or pad down on it.
Dry my hands. And if you show the stain that we worked on, you can see that before we started when we were talking, it's been lifted a lot.
Yeah, the stains have been broken up. They're still, the material itself is still in the carpet, but it's been broken up significantly by the brush, so see if you got that on there.
Here we go.
Now for what is actually pretty much a worn out bonnet, the bonnet still works really, really good. The scrubbing strips that are built onto the bonnet are pretty much gone. So this is just a solid bonnet. So. But it still cleans, it still absorbs.
It does great.
Yeah, one day it's going to come apart and then we'll have to replace it, but that's okay.
Now this area over here was real dark. Where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that whole lane was dark. It was a really bad
traffic
traffic area.
Really clean here in just a second.
I'm seeing pieces of bonnet coming off.
Me too.
Looks like it may be getting ready to come apart today. We always bring an extra bonnet with us just in case. If it does wear out, we'll just put a new bonnet down and start over. When these get to where they don't work on carpet at all anymore because they're just too worn out, a lot of times you can still use them on floors after that because there's not any friction really doing a floor, and they still absorb, but they won't be coming apart on the floor because they don't have anything grabbing onto them.
You know what? I'm switching it out now.
All right.
It's returned. Go ahead and tell them we'll be right back.
Okay. We'll switch the bonnet and start over here. Let me see how bad that thing really was.
Look at the pad driver.
Yeah.
All that stuff is from the bonnet.
They get to the point where this side you can tell is really deteriorated. Then they get to where all you're going to do is have pieces everywhere. So we're going to save this one for floors only after this. And he's going to get another bonnet out. I'm just going to put this over here. And here's a brand new one.
This is the difference in them.
So we didn't cut the tag off of this one, so it's gonna.
It'll come off.
Yeah, it'll come off in time. And he's gonna soak it just to get it wet. And soak it, wring it out. Then we'll see if a brand new bonnet actually scrubs a lot harder. I'm pretty sure that they will. So it may clean the carpet a lot faster than that old bonnet did. But we'll see. The old bonnet was still working pretty good on the last job we used it on.
It's working good here. It's just starting to come apart, and I'm afraid it'll tear through and let the pad driver hit the carpet.
Yeah, you
and
don't want to do
that
that.
pad driver will tear up our carpet.
It's hard to see where's the best angle to shoot this from because of the lighting. It's very hazy outside today, so it's overly bright, so it's kind of difficult to, I'm afraid it's going to blow out the picture.
Give me a second here and I'll be ready. Well, I kind of feel sorry getting rid of that bonnet. It made us a lot of money. I think it's not on right.
And you can see the print that it's leaving in the floor.
It's more aggressive because it's new.
Yeah, the pad will probably be, the new pads are probably quite a bit more aggressive as you first start using them.
Yeah, it's aggressive.
So we're doing this as basically an experiment and to show what you can get out of these machines. But we're not necessarily recommending it as the best way you should do it. You would probably want to stick with using newer bonnets. If you have 2 or 3 bonnets, you can rotate them. A lot of people do. They bring 3 or 4 bonnets. If they bring a bunch of bonnets to a job technically and they just keep throwing another one down. We always hand wash all of our bonnets at home. We don't put them in a washing machine, so it takes a while. It takes about 10 minutes to get a bonnet really clean by hand, so we're more inclined to stick with the same bonnet for a job instead of having to go home and wash 3 or 4 bonnets out. And you want to wash them out the day you use them. Yeah, you can hear that tag fluttering around, making noise. Now keep in mind, we're doing a carpet here that's basically a complete disaster. And hardly anybody would expect it to become perfectly clean. You can't really make it look like brand new again, so we're just trying to improve it as much as we can. But carpets that are neglected for 3 years or so and they're not clean, because we've been doing the carpets here for a long time. We've never cleaned this carpet, so I know they never had it cleaned while they lived here. And so these carpets, when you have that much dirt and grit that's allowed to stay in the carpet for a long period of time, it completely destroys the fibers of the carpet. So if we can make this thing look decent at all, that's a victory, because it's never going to be new again. And you can't fix wear and tear with any machine. Some people will talk about being able to repair tip bloom and things like that, but you're not really, a machine like this doesn't repair a carpet, it only gets rid of stains and dirt.
You can't really repair a tip bloom.
No, it would have to be retwisted and put back together in a permanent way. And though some people say that they got machines and chemicals that will do it, it's not really going to be anything but a temporary improvement at best.
Tip bloom's the same thing as a person with long hair having split ends. You don't repair that, you cut them out.
Yeah, you don't do that on carpet, but on carpet you just replace it. When an individual carpet fiber is started to unravel,
that's it,
and the twist is coming apart and the yarn's separating, you're not going to really be able to put that back together in any kind of significant way. Now he's going to take the bonnet off when we finish the living room, and he's going to spray it out with the sprayer and everything and wring it out again, so we'll take a look and see how dirty the bonnet actually got, because it was brand new when we threw it down. So okay, even with having to change bonnets and everything, we're only we're approaching 9 minutes here on this living room, which really is pretty good, because we did stop, change the bonnet and everything out. So it's going pretty fast. Let me try and see. I'm going to try to show this from different angles, because I'm not sure how the final results can appear with the lighting we have and everything, but you can see that the carpet's got a lot of the stain taken out of it. There's some permanent things in here, like cigarette burns and other things, but for the most part, you can see that transition line there where the carpet's a little bit darker. And that's not going to go away 100% because that's a worn carpet.
I'm not done either.
Yeah. We're going to try to blend it. Yeah. We could try to blend it a little bit more, but there's always going to be a spot where you can see the worn carpet compared to the brand new carpet.
Alright, here's the dark area. This is the worst area of the carpet right here, right now.
This shows you why it's kind of a good thing, if you have the ability to do it, to rotate your furniture around your room a little bit, so you don't develop spots in your carpet that are extremely worn out. Yeah. By just moving your couch to different positions and changing the way you walk into a room and the places where you sit, it's going to make your carpet wear more evenly overall. And this is what will happen if you don't do that. And maybe you don't have, in little apartments like this, you really don't have a lot of choices where to put your furniture, but when you can do it, it's a good thing to do it.
See, that's coming out real nice.
Yeah, there's, in screen now, is the carpet that was under a piece of furniture. And as I pan over, you can see there's the carpet, and it's more worn out.
The color is matching up though.
Yeah, we're starting to get it a little bit closer of a match.
You can't match the wear, but you can get the colors to blend in together.
And keep in mind too, we're showing this on video, and it picks up things that the naked eye doesn't see. So a lot of times you'll see things on camera, but to the naked eye, everything looks perfect, but the camera still picks up on things. It's going to show carpet, the dampness is in the carpet. If you have a dry section of carpet and a damp section of carpet, it may look the same to us, but the camera's going to show the damp section is darker. So there is going to be a lot of moisture in this carpet because we put a lot of free spray down.
Alright. Let's show them the pad. That's what it looks like after going over the carpet.
So it's,
And that's what the clean side looks like. So it picked up a bunch of dirt.
some of the dirt's penetrated through, I can tell, because the other side's actually a little.
What I'm gonna do, since I'm kind of a perfectionist nut, I'm gonna respray this one more time, get the pad wet and go over it, and then we're gonna move to the other areas of the apartment. But I'm gonna try this little area here one more time, because I want it to look perfect.
All right, he's gonna go clean that bonnet, and with the light and stuff in here, I might show it a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna show up.
Turn the kitchen light on.
We'll try that.
It'll help.
See if the light's working. Try to show, you see some of the dirt coming out. It's hard to tell.
She don't have much of a sink spare. Hang on, it's coming out. Get it over here in the corner, you can see a lot of dirt. See?
Yeah.
Anybody that tries to say when you do this, all you're doing is pushing the dirt deep into the carpet, they just don't know what they're talking about.
Well, it seems logical that that's all it's doing, but it's actually absorbing.
It's pulling the dirt up. It's
If
in
you
the
look at the
bag.
amount of dirty water that comes out of a tank of an extractor when they dump it, a lot of people show that when they're dumping it in the toilet or whatever. This water's just as dirty.
But you gotta remember too, if this pad has the ability to scrub down to the bottom of the carpet and bring up debris that the vacuum cleaners are missing, then it must be getting down to the bottom of the carpet. That's obvious. If it's getting back down to the bottom of the carpet, it's cleaning the bottom of the carpet. Some people just don't know what they're talking about, but they want to make up arguments because they got a method they want to sell on people. But this works.
Now he's gonna maybe spray it out a little bit. You can't get it perfectly clean on the job because it takes about, like I said, it could take about 10 minutes to get the bonnet completely clean. But what he's gonna do is get it clean enough to continue, get some of the dirt out.
The stain that's on it will never, the stain will always be there, but the dirt's out. It's always gonna have a dark stain from now on. It's done work.
You can also have a bucket full of clean water and you can throw the bonnets in there and
You can just dip them.
just sit them in the bucket for a few minutes and come back and wring them out. But the next time you do that, you're gonna be soaking it in dirty water. It came out a lot of the dirt came out.
The dirt came out, just it's got a dark stain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set the pad, then I'm gonna spray this area real quick and go over it one more time, then we're gonna be done, because it's gonna look good.
Okay, since he's gonna gonna respray and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the clip here and we'll start back up in a couple of minutes, so stay tuned. All right, we're back. Resprayed the carpet one more time. Now there's some white fuzz coming off of this bonnet too, but that's just because it's brand new. Yeah, when they're new, they have a little bit of fluff that comes off, but it's not any big deal. You can just leave that on the floor for the pets. The pets and little children can eat that because it's pretty clean. And that's looking pretty good. Yeah, this is a situation where you're looking at worn out carpet, a carpet that was hardly ever used. And so even though the carpet's clean, it still has a darker look to it because the fibers have been worn, deteriorated. Yeah, the integrity of the fibers is gone.
This is what happens when you don't clean your carpets for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's why you clean your carpets 2 to 3 times a year. If you got the money.
Or the machine.
Yeah.
Now I had one of my subscribers message and said they want to know which would be better to buy, like a Rug Doctor or a Big Green or the Oreck if you were going to try to clean your carpets pretty often, because they're complaining about having pets and kids, and so the carpets get a lot of dirt in them. And the honest truth is, when you use a machine that puts down a lot of water, you don't want to do that very often with your carpets because it kind of starts making the carpet want to come apart if you do it too often. This machine, since it's low moisture, it's a little safer to use this machine.
Picked up a little more moisture.
It's a little safer
A
to
little
use.
more dirt, not too much.
It's a little safer to use a machine like this because if you're going to want to clean your carpet every couple of weeks or so, I would recommend using this type of a machine because you don't put so much water into your carpets. Because that's eventually the backing starts to get worn out then you start to have problems with just the effect of having carpet get soaked like that and dried, and soaked and dried. So this is a low moisture method. So there, he's wanting me to show that he's spraying more dirt out.
Yeah, there's more dirt coming. If you get I'm gonna tell you people something, whoever's interested, if you have those people with those big band units, those compressors, they come and clean your carpets. One thing about it, they'll clean them good, but after they've done it a couple of times with the heavy vacuum they use and all the water they put in, your carpets will get stretched. Be very cautious about doing too much water extraction. Your carpets will get stretched and you'll have to pay someone to come in and re-stretch your carpets. So this will not stretch your carpets, ever.
Yeah, and the super high temperature water that they're using, that's not necessarily good for the backing of your carpet either.
It can make your glue loosen up and
Yeah,
everything.
delaminate.
So
it's okay to do that once a year or so, but you want to be careful. Sometimes people get on there with the steam and they just leave it on there and they really work on your carpets. But it's not necessarily good for the carpet to do that. So you want to try to find a method to clean your carpets that does the least damage as possible when it's cleaning. And this is a gentle method. It's one of the reasons that we enjoy using it.
we're not insulting carpet extracting. We used to do a lot of it ourselves, but it can stretch your carpets out after a few times. That's a lot of vacuum and a lot of water that they use.
All right, he's getting ready. He's probably gonna.
I gotta move the cord and everything.
Yeah, he's gonna move the cord. He's gonna spray these hallways. He's only sprayed the stained areas, so he's gonna have to spray this bedroom, that hallway. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop again because he's got a little bit of that to do and it's kind of boring to watch. And so I'll turn the camera back on when we're ready to start doing some more of this work. So keep watching. All right, we got the bonnet washed out again. We pre-sprayed the hallway and the bedroom, and he's getting ready to start. There's a darker stain there. It's almost turning bluish. So I'm wondering if they didn't spill some kind of dye.
It could be some old mascara.
Yeah, it could be some mascara or some kind of dye. A lot
Whatever
of times with those, you'll get a lot of it out, but you'll never get 100% of it out.
This is not one of those. This is one of those that's gonna just come out. Whatever it was, it decided it didn't want to be in there no more. It made its own decision. With some gentle persuasion.
We still have their glue.
Right up on the edges. One thing about this, it edge cleans better than any extractor I've ever seen.
So we got something like some tar or something that's stuck in the carpet there. See if it comes out.
It's making its way out. And there it goes. That's just what's left is carpet damage. It's kind of like a little burn in the
You
carpet.
see when the customer pre-vacuumed the carpet for us, they didn't really bother to do the edges and everything. So that's something when you do vacuum your carpets, try to remember to get around your door jamb areas and get along the edges with the nozzle on your vacuum cleaner, because those things, you can see when I pan along the baseboards here, that even though I'm not super close to the baseboards, you can see that the carpet just doesn't have as good a look as it would if they cleaned. And a lot of this stuff's going to get popped out by the pad into the middle of the room, so they're probably going to want to re-vacuum. Now, one nice thing with this machine is, even if you didn't vacuum at all, you can post-vacuum because the carpets will dry pretty quick. And you're going to probably want to post-vacuum a lot of times because it's going to bring up stuff deep in the carpet. So you might figure when you clean with this method that if you're doing it at your home, you may want to wait and about an hour or so later go over everything with a vacuum again to finish it off.
Or the next day.
Or the next day, because it's going to bring up some stuff that your vacuum cleaner couldn't break loose. especially the carpet brush attachment. It's very aggressive for digging down the stuff that's down in the matting of the carpet and everything. Now, even on a pretty dirty carpet, you don't have to worry about washing the bonnet out every 5 minutes or anything like that. You can do like a room this size in a hallway, you can easily do that much without worrying about if the bonnet's getting overfilled or not. But of course, when the bonnet gets to where it won't absorb anything else, that's it. And you'll be able to tell because you start picking things up anymore. And then it's time to wash the bonnet out, wring it out, and then it's ready to absorb some more stuff.
You just kind of over time learn to use your best judgment.
Yeah. We've had jobs where we can, even with a fairly dirty carpet, we can clean the whole apartment without having to stop to rinse the bonnet because it just keeps absorbing. So, I mean, you just kind of, there's no rule that's set in stone as to how long to go. So you just have to just experiment. The nice thing is you certainly can go a lot longer than you can with an extractor where you have to stop and refill the tanks and empty them and all that. But this method is nice, is you can just keep going and keep going and keep going. And if you got someone to help you out, they can actually put pre-spray down just ahead of you. And so you really don't have to stop, and except once in a while you may want to check and see if your bonnet looks like it's overly dirty. Okay, I'm going to try to find a good position to stand in here.
Yeah, these bonnets, they absorb a lot of dirt. We do a lot of 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, and we don't flip the bonnet. It just keeps absorbing. And then sometimes we'll do places where we have to flip the bonnets 4 or 5 times. It just depends. But normally they absorb tons of dirt, and they rinse out real easy too.
Now, the way I usually clean these bonnets, use a sink sprayer, put a little, I just use dishwashing soap because it's got laundry soap in it because that's what we pre-spray with. I usually get the sprayer and spray them from both sides as thoroughly as I can with as much pressure as I can get out of the sink. And I get it until I don't see dirty water coming out of them anymore. At that point, I usually put one side, I put a good generous amount of dishwashing soap on it, and then you fold the bonnet in half like a taco shell, and you start scrubbing the bonnet against itself. And it foams up really good, and you just work your way around until you've done every square inch of the bonnet on one side, and then you fold the bonnet over the other side like a taco and start scrubbing it against itself. By then the soap's worked its way into the bonnet, so that it's going to do both sides. And when you get both sides completely white and foamy, then you start rinsing the soap, the dishwashing soap. You start rinsing that out of the bonnet. That takes a while because it's in there, but as you're rinsing all that out, you're getting the bonnet completely clean, because you want to try to get the inside of the bonnet as clean as possible too, because any dirt and anything that you leave in there is going to start wearing away at the fibers inside the bonnet, just like it would ruin a carpet. So it's important to try to clean your bonnet at the end of the day at least, and give it a really, really thorough cleaning. Now, some people throw it into a clothes washer, which is fine, but we don't really do that. We don't have a washer in our apartment, so we just generally do it by hand. And you want to try to keep the bonnet damp until you have a chance to clean it, because you don't really want to let the bonnet completely dry out and then try to clean it out. It's better just to get it before everything in there dries. But if you take care of the bonnets, they'll last a long time. I'm going to put links to the Amazon to Amazon for the Oreck Orbiter and the bonnet and the brush, so that you can go check it out there and look at it. We're not going to be raking this one because we don't rake carpets whenever people are going to be walking on them immediately when we're done, because they're just going to track it up anyway. Leave the closet doors open to make sure that it completely dries in there. But if you want to check down there, you can go to Amazon and look at the user reviews for these products and the current best pricing. And you can see some of the other tasks that you can perform with this machine because of the manufacturer information there. And we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel so you can keep up to date with all of our videos. And please hit like on the videos. It helps make them move up in the search results, which is just a nice thing we appreciate from you. If you have any questions or comments, please, you can put them on the individual videos, but we do screen comments, so, you know, be careful what you say, because we will block people who get nasty about things on their comments. You know, keep it nice and polite, because we're trying to do a nice thing for people and show them how to clean their own carpets and save a lot of money. But of course, you have some people that don't really think that you can do anything for yourself. You need to hire professionals to do it, and they leave some pretty nasty comments sometimes. So just know ahead of time, comments like that will never be seen. So
what I'm doing here is I'm not trying to absorb more stain. I'm just trying to soak up some of the water, because I sprayed a lot of water here. I'm just trying to get some excess water up before we leave. We're about to take off.
yeah, we've done about what we can do with this carpet. They're going to probably want to re-vacuum it, pick up some of the little bugs and stuff that they left along the baseboards. And areas like this is not a stain, this is just our footprints. But the carpets look pretty good. So thanks for watching this video, and please stay tuned for our next video. We'll have another one coming up pretty soon. Thanks for watching.